no marching armies or solemn declarations. But this is really war. It is guided by North Vietnam, and it is spurred by Communist China. And there are great stakes in the balance.
More than 3 million people were killed in the Vietnam War, including over 58,000 Americans. The war became increasingly unpopular at home, and the anti-war movement, which was particularly strong on college campuses, divided Americans bitterly.
There was protests and riots going on at the time. I had gotten recruited up for Cal to go play football, and where I was up there, I was talking to the head coach, and he got a phone call from his secretary that said that a riot had just broken out, and I needed to get out of there now. And there was a stoplight, and the riot was moving towards me down the street. And and it's one thing to see a riot on TV, but when you're actually there and you're that close to it, and you see, there's just this big mass of people there's a mass of violent people that are just moving towards you, and it's a very, very, scary situation. And I saw somebody who came up and hit a cop in the back of the head with a brick. And as the cop was falling down, he grabbed his baton, and as he was falling down, he cut the guy right in the mouth.
With the higher draft call comes a higher degree of resistance to the draft. Many men of draft age are rushing away from, not to, the induction centers.
This is not the war I want to be in. I have no interest in killing people nor in being killed.
And this is a forum on how to avoid the draft.
We're putting together a booklet on how you can personally get out of serving. The bureaucratic ways of getting out. Business of feigning madness, homosexuality.
And they're not any better than we are. We are over here dying and fighting for our country. And I think that if we should be here, they should be here too.
You're over here getting shot at. 5 of your buddies were killed down the road the other day. What did you feel watching that film?
I just wish that those fellows on the film had been in the truck instead of my buddies.
What was different with Vietnam era soldiers, we didn't get too much recognition. When we came home, I mean, it's true. I mean, people would spit on people and call you baby killers and all this stuff. Still fighting to get a Purple Heart 50 years later from a wound I got right here in Vietnam. So I just decided to go. I volunteered for the draft with a friend of mine, and we were told at the time if we volunteered, we'd be able to pick our location, which is bull crap.
I love my country. I wanted to support my country, but I also didn't want to die in Vietnam.
I have a, that's only one option. I go and fight, right? Doesn't matter what it is. If I don't kill them, they kill me. Regret. I don't think I regret anything. Actually, I'm proud to serve my country. So everything we did for my country is the right thing to do.
%85 of Vietnam War veterans still suffer from severe PTSD, and 31% are homeless.
When I went to Vietnam, I started smoking a lot of weed and doing a lot of opium. And so when I got out of Vietnam, I was basically addicted, to opiates. And and as a result of that, I got to learn some coping mechanisms and just things that people with PTSD sort of have, like choosing to isolate more than be social. Large crowds trip me out. I got to sort of be by the back door, where there's an exit, stuff like that. Relationships have always been difficult for me.
On April 30th, 1975, the city of Saigon fell to communist rule. Today, Vietnam's government is composed of a one-party system led by the Communist Party of Vietnam.
Yes, Vietnam now is different. Just look at the outside, right? If you look at the building, high rise, but if you go further, you go to the countryside, and I still see a lot of Vietnamese, living in the poor condition in the countryside. It seems to me that my family is okay, still, but living under communist is not a good. They you don't have a freedom. So yeah.
At least 150 re-education prisons were built after Saigon fell. There are no official figures on how many prisoners were executed or how many died from poor treatment. Prisoners consisted of American and Vietnamese soldiers and civilians, and former prisoners and their relatives would flee to America.
The camp, they say in the camp, that's when they talk to you. You go there labor to, and they don't give you a lot of food, just barely for you to survive, and you labor for them. That's the worst thing. And many of my friends died there. Some they bravely enough to they escaped, but they was killed. If you want to be in freedom, then you have to fight. I don't have anything to bring here. I came with just a bare hand. But the thing is, I I I brought with me my hope that we left behind the war. So I'm a free man to be good citizen and try to build families. We have a better life for our children. So, but American gave you a chance to 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 build up. If you are willing to work hard, you know, have your dream, and you have, you will achieve. So this is the good opportunity, and this is the promised land. That's what I